Ladies and gentlemen of the committee, my name is Robert Worm. I'm from the town of Pittsfield. I am the legislative chairman for the New Hampshire Association of Chiefs of Police. And we are here in opposition to this bill today. We are concerned about the wide effects that this would have on the way that law enforcement does do business. And the biggest concern that we do have is the ability to be able to keep confidential information confidential. The concern we have is many times while we're out on patrol, walking the beat, or even having a cup of coffee, we're approached by citizens that come in and they want to talk to us. They finally worked up the courage to report something that they've been ashamed of, that they've been embarrassed by, and they come up and talk to us. This bill allows anybody, whether it be you, me, or anybody, to infringe on anybody's rights at any point in time. The concern we have is that sometimes we do business in the meeting with confidential informants, meeting with drug officers, talking about juvenile incidents with probation officers, maybe over lunch. All these things would be subject to recording if somebody's decision that they wanted to record a law enforcement officer during the course of their investigation. This is setting a bad, we feel it's setting a bad precedent on violating not the officer's rights necessarily, but the fact that when we're dealing with people and doing our job, if you're a victim of a crime, you could now be subject to a YouTube or any publicity that comes out. And if you're in there to talk with an officer about a case that's very sensitive, and the information that you're receiving is now not only audio taped but videotaped, and you don't have the right to stop it, because it doesn't say it has to stop on consent, it says you have the right to acknowledge, first give notification to the recording officer, okay? It doesn't say that the officer has the right to refuse that at this point. It just says you have to notify them. We feel it's bad legislation to implement, that it's subjecting anybody who may not want their opinions or their reports or anything to public scrutiny through the form of audio taping. And not only will it, as far as the officers are concerned, but if you were talking to somebody, that person may not deem consent as well.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Chief Worm, if you were involved in a situation where there were multiple subjects, perhaps there's been a fight or something, and you're called to do that, and you're approaching this group, and one of them has an object in their hand, is that going to be troublesome to you as a law enforcement officer?
It is. My focus is going to be there when there may be another issue that's arising. My focus is going to be to determine what is it that's in their hand. Is it a weapon? Is it a bomb? What is it? And what's the purpose of it being here? Is it inciting a problem? Is it adding to a problem? I don't think if you recall just seeing news things all the time, and primarily with movie stars, but it happens every day with us. It happened during the tornadoes in my community. Somebody came up and took a picture of something, and somebody didn't want it. What happens? Now a fight ensues, because it didn't have anything to do with the police. We were there talking with them, but it happened to be somebody else that was there photocopying for their documentary or whatever. Those are the kind of things that we're concerned happens when we're in big crowds or just dealing with people one-on-one, when you start getting into audio, videotaping. I mean, videotaping they can do anyway. You can videotape anybody that you want at this point in the public. There's not much you can do. It's the audio taping that's the concern.
Third party isn't the right.
They could be under this law the way that it's written.
This only applies to civil servants. It doesn't apply to private citizens who are informants, who are victims of crimes. This doesn't apply to them. So this is very these objections he's raising, I feel, are specious at best, because this only pertains to civil servants, people that are there to serve us, the people that we pay to, we help them with their jobs through our tax dollars. I mean, we're there for them, they should be there for us, and it just seems such an odd objection, because this doesn't say anything about third parties. It simply says that the law enforcement officer, now, I don't know how to put this any more clear, but to say that other people will be put at risk because you're protecting yourself, I think is, frankly, just seems a bit of an argument that needs to be reviewed more thoroughly.
Looks like thus far 10-1 in favor on the blue sheet.
Yes, 10-1 in favor of this bill to secure our right to videotape police and audio tape them.
Have you ever wished for one beverage that would help you get rich quick while solving all of your personality disorders? Unfortunately, that beverage is only available by prescription. But as a citizen of New Hampshire, you are entitled to beer from ManchesterBrewing.com if you pay for it. Enjoy it for breakfast, lunch, and at all other times, except while driving. This has been a public service announcement from ManchesterBrewing.com. ManchesterBrewing.com.